Ford and Holden wound up production of vehicles in Australia, it marked the end of the road for the true blue Aussie-made ute. To some extent, the Ranger and the Colorado have filled the gap, but now those two aren't born down under, you might not feel so compelled to buy something with a blue oval or a lion badge. So what about something like this? This is the SsangYong Musso XLV. And I know what you're thinking, it doesn't have a badge quite as recognisable as Ford or Holden, but there's still a lot to like. For a start, it's four-wheel drive, it's got a 2.2-litre diesel engine up front, and tons of space, and it'll tow up to 3,500 kilos of stuff on a trailer. The best bit, though, it costs 40 grand. What's not to like?
No, Dan. If you are looking for a replacement for the iconic Aussie ute, then it's gotta be a V8. It's called the Laramie, and according to Ram, the cabin is fit for a king or a princess. It can tow a whopping 4.5 tonne. It has 291 kilowatts and 556 newton metres of torque. But most importantly, it has that unmistakable V8 rumble.
Clearly, we're not going to agree. So instead, we're going to present this pair of hopefuls to the most discerning ute audience in Australia, perhaps even the world.
The Denny Ute Muster.
Now in its 21st year, the Denny Ute Muster is not just a celebration of Australia's obsession with the ute, but a four-day extravaganza of country life and everything that makes bush living special. Each year, this incredible spectacle attracts thousands of utes from all over the country, including countless examples of Holden and Ford hardware from across the ages. But with the end of locally built cars, what will the Denny Ute Muster look like in another 21 years? That's what we're here to find out.
Middle of the night and you weren't home, I had a feeling that something wasn't right. So I slung my guitar in the seat of my car and I headed out through the night. It wasn't long till I heard the sound of my daddy on stage with his favorite band. Raise your glass and sing along. We're all right where we belong.
There's food, drink, bulls, horses, outfitters, competitions, demonstrations, shows, young and old, lots and lots of country music, and of course, whip cracking. Nailed it! So you can't buy an Australian-made ute anymore? Right, so what's the alternative? What are you going to be driving like in another 21 years at the Denny Ute Muster?
Well, we're still driving today.
Can I perhaps interest you in a SsangYong Musso?
What? Get me an American car, mate.
It's very efficient. It's very reasonably priced.
Enough about that Korean car. What do you think about this?
Oh, yeah, that's getting me
Real
excited. Yeah.
Yank tank.
Now, if they changed the import taxes, we wouldn't be getting Chinese and Korean stuff, we'd be getting American muscle. Now, that's what we want. See, Aussies and Americans, we go hand in hand. Ford, they make Ford utes. Now they've got the F-Trucks and the Dodge Ram, the Chevys, and that's what we want to see more of.
Doesn't bother you using a bit more petrol?
Oh, please.
You wouldn't be driving V8s if you worried about burning.
Always have V8s.
Yeah, I actually don't mind the Rams. Yeah, it's nice. I'm toss up between us getting the Ram and the Ranger.
So it doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be a Australian-made. No, it just has to be a ute.
You just got to love what you're doing.
Elise and I are at the Denny Ute Muster to find out what the country's biggest ute enthusiasts think of two foreign imposters. 3, if you count me. In our quest to fully understand what makes a die-hard ute head tick, Elise is going above and beyond the call of duty in the circle work competition.
All right, better get my seatbelt on. Does it work?
Don't worry about it.
I won't.
Trust me.
you just killed your car.
Perhaps there was more valuable insight to be found at the prestigious Denny Ute Show and Shine. But how would our pair of hopefuls go under the judge's microscope?
Okay, judges, I brought my Ram to the Denny Ute Muster.
Tell us about it.
Okay, well, it's the only V8 Hemi in its class.
Yeah.
That's got to count for something.
Oh, maybe. Who's you?
This is mine.
Okay. Tell us about it.
This is a VF SSV Redline that I have customised with the body of a South Korean reasonably priced ute.
Okay. So what we look for is we're looking for navigation equipment. If you're in four-wheel drive, if you're in BNS or anything else, we look at to see what stickers and that you have. We want to know you've been to a BNS. Yeah, that's your drink holders. You probably get a couple of points for drink holders.
Yeah, see, that's really...
Oh, your rum.
A rum.
You need your Bundy can there. Don't worry about it.
That's real leather
Yeah.
from South Korean cows.
Is it South Korean heated or?
So it's not like the one that was
it gets
next to
cold.
us. It actually
Yeah.
has a heated wheel and
No,
stuff
this
like
one's
that.
this one's solar powered heated. heated with. So when the sun's on it.
That's environmentally friendly.
Yeah.
You probably get a point for that.
Yeah. We'd done all we could, but now it was over to the judges to deliberate.
We've had a look at both vehicles. If we're in the next 20 years and you come in and say, oh, you know, I want to enter this in the Denny Ute Muster, you know, I'd like to see a little bit more gear and maybe, probably, sorry mate, you need a better exhaust.
So what you're saying is not only has the Ram won, I've also failed miserably.
Yeah, I'm sorry, mate.
There's nothing is excluded as long as it is a ute. It doesn't have to be, you know, built in Australia. It doesn't have to be a particular brand. Everything is welcome. And that's really sealing the future for this festival, isn't it?
We go to ute shows, we see other utes. I've seen a Mercedes ute. And like, it was a brand spanking new Mercedes straight out of the showroom. The guy entered it in. Yeah. You know, entered it in street ute. Okay, he didn't win, but he was there and he's having fun. And that's what it's got to be all about.
Go downtown, not uptown. Take 440, loop around town. Go downtown, downtown. Neon lights, dancing in the night. Grooving and a moving and a doing what you're doing when you're downtown.
We were getting a feel for the general sentiments of a Denny Ute Muster punter. But if you really want to understand the future of this curious gathering in the outback, who better to talk to than one of its longest-serving ambassadors and a country music legend, John Williamson.
The bushies won't like it, but I think eventually there might be a bit of pressure to at least go hybrid. I don't think it's hard to imagine.
So we might see you one day turning up to the Denny Ute Festival in an electric ute.
No, I might have retired by then.
Well, against all the odds, we have survived the
Just.
Denny Ute Muster 2019. Just.
Just.
It was nowhere near as savage as I was expecting.
I think the crowd was incredibly well behaved.
Totally. Far more families here, far more kids having a great time, far more sort of broad spectrum entertainment for everyone, not just petrol heads.
Without a doubt. And a lot of women.
Totally.
Which is a good thing.
Absolutely. But the reason we're here was to evaluate whether these two cars fitted the Denny Ute Muster and if they in any way will forge the way the festival looks in another 21 years.
I was a little bit nervous about driving here. I thought a lot of hardcore, iconic, Aussie ute-loving fans would scoff at an American import. But they loved it. They loved its size.
Yeah.
They loved the V8 factor.
Of course.
And they loved its sort of muscle look.
And I have to say, the Musso didn't have such a frosty reception as I was expecting.
no.
Like, the people saw the good in it. Yeah, OK, it might not have the big V8 and it might not be as big and brash and as menacing as the Ram, but people did recognise it as a ute and it definitely has a place here. And that, I suppose, for me, is the best thing that I will take away, is this sense of inclusiveness, is that as long as it is a ute and people are coming here with the right passion and the right reasons and soul, anything and anyone is welcome.